We drove nearly 900 kilometers on this trip, and much of it in pouring rain or snow. But thanks to the rain, as we crossed the mountains from Hobart to the west coast, we were rewarded with this view of dozens of temporary waterfalls all around us. The little town of Strahan on Macquarie Harbour is the main gateway to Tasmania's western wilderness. The star attraction here is the Gordon River cruise into Wild Rivers National Park. They also take you out to Hell's Gates, the narrow entrance to the harbor. For convicts bound for Sarah Island, this was the gate to hell. The name stuck. That yellowish tree is the Huon pine I keep talking about. All the straightest and tallest ones near the river were chopped down to make ships. They grow extremely slowly, something like a millimeter every year, so they haven't regenerated yet. There's a short boardwalk where you can get a sense of just how dense the rainforest is. The early tree species didn't develop large shading leaves, so light penetrates through the canopy, leading to this dense undergrowth. There's very little animal life in these old forests. Nothing to eat except your mate. The water in the Gordon River and much of western Tasmania is dyed a deep brown from the tannin in the soils. Despite its resemblance to other more unpleasant liquids, I assure you it tasted just fine. Lake St. Clair is at the southern edge of Cradle Mountain, Lake St. Clair National Park. Cradle Mountain is only a 6-day, 65-kilometer walk away. I have to admit, I really wasn't expecting snow. Thankfully, the weather cleared up by the next day for our hike. Still had to deal with cold temperatures and lots of snow already on the ground. The poor condition of the trails made our 300-meter climb up to Marion's Lookout pretty challenging. A wombat was the most exciting wildlife sighting of the day. Cradle Mountain, one of the first proper mountains I've seen in Australia. And Dove Lake, which we're about to go hike around. Going down the steeper route was actually much easier than coming up, because there was a chain for most of it. It was impossible to keep your feet dry, as every trail was a river of water. Cradle Mountain was a real highlight of the trip, easily on par with North American alpine national parks. Tasmania's pristine wilderness makes it a world apart, but unfortunately for most of us, it's also a world away.